Good evening, everybody. Washington Wizards play tonight. Means it's another round of Wizards Outlook. Cardell Dudley Jr., Raymond Lyons, Wilson Tarpe Jr., and the Washington Wizards managed to close their road trip. We were talking to you guys literally a couple nights ago about how important it was to not let the Clippers' loss kind of impact how they closed the trip. It was a wild finish, but the Wizards beat the Nuggets 112-110. They end up going 3-1 on this road trip, which isn't bad at all in the least bit. But we'll start with you, Cardell, your quick thoughts, and then Ray, get your initial thoughts on how the game went this evening.
One, cardiac Wizards. That finish was wild, man. The turnovers, the last minute or so, the defensive errors or whatnot. But Denver, like we just said, that last possession, I'm gonna be thinking about that all night. I'm like, dude, you had Bill back, Porter got the ball, Facu trailing, and you had Porter on the wing. You could easily just throw it to him, lob it, and y'all going to overtime if y'all don't have any time left or whatnot. I don't know what Murray was thinking. I saw what Malone said after the game. Clearly, he's pissed because he made it to the press room real quick, and the game just ended. Normally, they don't get there that quick, so I know he's hot. I'm interested to see what Murray said because that don't make no damn sense. But that's the habits of following the analytic game plan. You pulling it out for three, and you were down two, and you got a 3-on-1 fast break. How does that make sense? But that's neither here nor there. I'm just really just shaking my head at that, man. Like, oh man. But as for the Wizards, man, Bill and Rui, man, they were just spectacular all night, man. I love how in the first quarter they kind of set the tone. You know, everybody was kind of expecting them to be sluggish because, you know, the altitude and, you know, typically what we've seen from the Wizards when they come off a hard loss, especially with what the Clippers did to them the night before. Not the night before, last game. The Wizards normally come out slow. They come out flat or whatnot. Then they try to fight back in the game. That just wasn't the case. They came out and set the tone. They came out and kind of punched the Nuggets in the face and they on their own court and put the Nuggets on their heels, even though Jokic had a big first quarter. I just think Bill and Rui set that tone and they carried it for the majority of the night. Wizards attacked the paint relentlessly. They realized that the Nuggets didn't have any shot blockers. I love Jokic, but that's not his game to challenge anyone at the rim. And they went at it. The Wizards only shot 26 threes, and I think most of that came in the fourth quarter. Normally they're in the 30-plus range, but points in the paint they had 48. So they were getting in there and they were attacking often. And you could tell that was the game plan because that's how they started. They didn't settle, which I love. They didn't settle for many threes for the first three quarters, but they picked it up. Raul Neto, you gotta give him a lot of credit. His hustle was just crazy. Even that the last possession before Murray pulled it back out, when they was trying to go for the win or get a bucket, the defense that Neto played on Jamal Murray forced him into a tough shot. It was just, you don't get no better than that. And that's what I mean by they have capable defenders when they want to play. And even, that possession when they got the three off, it wasn't Neto recovered to challenge Jamal Murray, but then Rui came all the way from the block to also challenge to make this shot tougher. That's all we've been asking for the whole season. That's defense. And you saw what happened. They got the miss and they got the rebound. Bill got the chance to go down there and make some free throws to take the lead. It was just a great all-around effort. Russell Westbrook, his all-around play. He didn't have the most efficient shooting night, but everything that he did, just triple-double once again. He had 5 turnovers, but by his standards this season, we'll take that. We'll take that, man.
Hey, man, it's turnover ratio 2-1 tonight.
Hey, man. Hey, look. Beggars can't be choosy, dog. Beggars can't be choosy, man. We used to that 8 to 10 range every night. We be like, dog, those are the double agent games, man. You gotta chill with that, man. But it was just, man. Look, it was just big. And Robert Lopez, his production off the bench the last few games, he's been an unsung hero, man. He giving them double-digit points, giving them rebounds, playing tough defense in the paint. providing a physical presence, man. He's not being talked about enough. That slow old school hook, he barely getting off the ground. That's your money. That's your accurate. That's your accurate dog.
Did you see the graphic last game? He has the second most hook shots in the league.
Hey, that's your automatic, dog. Look, and you know, people around the league getting fed up because every time he make it, they be like, for real, dog, he killing me with this, y'all. Like he killing the league with that. I ain't mad at him. Keep doing it. It was big, man. But Raul Neto, 15 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, 5 steals, man. I mean, total team effort, man. And that's how you got to win ball games with the type of team. They held the Nuggets, 43% shooting from the field. Forced 18 turnovers. I mean, you can't ask for a better defense effort. The defense won this game tonight, and that shows you that the tide has really dramatically turned for the Wizards, where they're relying on that first instead of their offense.
Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, man. I just think what's been consistent, with these last few games with them is they've been taking care of the ball as a team, getting to the foul line and winning the battle in the paint. And they did all those things tonight. It's and like Cardell said, it's another game. They play enough defense to win. In those middle quarters, Denver started to get loose. They had 32 and 34, but they started off the game strong defensive effort and ended the game with a strong defensive effort. And that's what you need, man. That's how you get W's. But yeah, man, it's just some positive signs. These were games they were definitely losing early in the season. So, it's good to see them start to actually be able to close things out. I think we can go ahead and say the Wizards officially have a trio now, with Bill, Westbrook, and Rui. They matched Denver every step of the way. And they just got it done, especially Rui, man. Rui's been looking good. He scoring off the bounce in the post, mid-range, at the basket, and he's being efficient, and he's playing defense. So
best defender.
Yeah, man. So, man, Rui, those they were saying it on Twitter all night about how he was compared to Kawhi on draft night, and those comparisons look legit if you compare them at these points in their both of their careers. So it's if that's what we got to look forward to as his trajectory, then man,
oh hell yeah,
by all means,
max now, dog.
But man, he talk about it's just good to see everybody contributing from top to bottom on the roster. Mo Wagner, since he's been starting, between him and Lopez, is just making it hard for Alex Len to get on the floor. And that's just what it is, man. We all see how Brooks been carrying it this season. If dude's producing, they're gonna stay out there, and for Len, he'll get his 1 or 2 minutes. And if you ain't seeing no reason to stay out there, then right back to the bench. So that's just how it gotta be, man. So and Cardell brought up Neto. I mean, it's invaluable what he's doing. He's stabilizing that second unit. He probably makes the most plays on the team between him and Garrison Matthews. They make the most plays that ain't going to show up in the box score, but that's going to help them win. So yeah, man. Of course, Brad Bill. I mean, this just par for the course for him. He just going to kill whoever guarding him. That's just is what it is. You got to eat that. And Russ, he's as he's been kind of getting his legs back under him and getting healthy, with a little bit of his explosiveness coming back, he's been able to, get better shots and not have to just settle for just reckless threes. So, and that's opened up the offense a little bit because he's making teams have to account for him, and his play hasn't been as erratic. So, so he's able to positively impact the game. But yeah, man, the wins are piling up, man, and you got to be happy about that. So there, but the frustration part is if they had been doing this all along, like those few early games that they gave up, and they 12 and 18 now. I guarantee it's 6 games that they that they just blew that they could have won.
Mhm.
You know, so you could be in a much better spot if, you know, if that discipline was there early in the season. But I mean, it ain't no use continuing to talk about that. We here now, and you know, things look like they're trending up. So, you know, hopefully that remains the case.
Yeah, I don't really have too much to add on. Said the other night, just folks settling into their roles. Just very comfortable, you know, with what they're asked to do. You guys mentioned Rui, and you know, I love that you brought that up, Ray. But yeah, similar points, quiet, you know, just similar quiet trajectories. You know, it took a couple years, and next thing we know, Kawhi's ISO package turned into one of the best in the league. You know, just slowly, it's like one off season, somebody uploaded a program, man came back, and it was like free smoke for everybody. I mean, I'm sure folks thought it would get there, but it happened literally over the course of one off season. So again, one of the things I did enjoy tonight was I think Murray got going. When Murray got going, you saw Rui. You know, Rui was given the assignment. Hey, go try to put the fire out real quick, like Cardone you mentioned. Him being kind of touted as that guy as the stopper for these guys. It's huge because what is it, year two? Still hasn't played. You know, hasn't played 80 something games yet. He's still trying to get to that point. And I like where he is offensively too. He takes the three when it's comfortable for him, when it's in rhythm. We're seeing different little things he's added to his game. Turn some of the sweeping layups across the paint. Getting even more comfortable now. You know, off the bounce, creating a little space for him to get the middies off, and then the job he does on the boards too. You know, I think Cardell, you mentioned Lopez, what he's doing carving out room. You know, obviously we know Russ hits the glass. Rui's been hitting the glass since he came back from being off early this year. Once he came back, he's been a mainstay on the glass, even if the points fluctuate or not. You guys mentioned Neto and his outstanding hustle tonight. I mean, honestly, outside of Denver's two best players getting hot in that third quarter, it was bleak for Denver offensively for a while. It's not like, you know, we've seen Denver where everything's flowing. It's kind of, you know, it's everybody gets action offensively. It wasn't that type of night for folks not named Jokic or Murray. And I mean, you know, if anything, you can't really be too mad at that. And then late in the game, look, you do enough of the little things. Sometimes things work out in your favor. Like Cardell, I don't think I'm be able to wrap my mind into how that last possession was fumbled, because whichever way you want to go with it, my whole thing is make your decision with conviction. If you're going to go take the three, go take the three. If you're not going to take the three, move off the ball. But getting stuck in the middle with 5 seconds left, you can't do that. Then you get it to Campazzo. I know my man's like, why the hell do I have the ball right now? Like, I was just running down the floor for just in case. Like, what are you doing? And then I felt so bad for him. Like, what you want him to do in this situation? But again, you know, these are some of those puzzling decisions and moments we've been questioning Washington with earlier in the year. You know, just in the sense of showing some type of growth. That's not Washington that was doing that type of head scratching stuff. They still have their issues, but they didn't do that. Like, they didn't.
Shots went up. It may not have been by the right person, but the shot would have went up though. That was a problem.
And Ray, I didn't mean to start laughing when you mentioned Alex Lynn. I think it was late in the fourth. My man took that corner three. I was like, oh yeah, we're not gonna see you the rest of the
day. Exactly. Hell yeah.
I saw him hesitate. I was like, no, don't pull it. You're gonna come out. He pulled it. I was like, welp. Next thing you know, Robin Lopez is back in the game.
Bro, that was like a shot. Like his agent, like, man, we need you to get some more points. That was like him and his agent was talking before the game, man. It's like, play. Brooks on one right now. I want to mess with that. I want to challenge that.
Hey, look, you should have passed and went to go set a screen somewhere, bro. What did you do right
now? Brooks will have you in exile. You be looking like a coach out there, boy. He ain't playing.
Man, shot the three. I was like, oh, you don't want to come back in tonight at all, man.
Exactly.
You were done. But, you know, up next, get a day off. Then up next, they got the Wolves at home, followed by a trip up to Boston to take on the Celtics. You know, then a little bit of a break. Grizzlies, Clippers after that. But what's at their immediate attention is you're able to string together a couple more again, like Ray, I think you said 12 and 18, regardless of what was dropped at the beginning of the year, what was fumbled. You got a chance, you're getting closer, the number on the left's getting closer to the number on the right, which is a good thing. Because before the number on the right was making a mad dash away from the number on the left in the standings, and that's nothing anybody wants. You guys have anything else to add?
Yeah, Garrison Matthews, he erased Will Barton from the game, and Will Barton's a one-on-one wizard, man. You gotta give Matthews credit, man. Like 1 for 7, you didn't even know if you didn't watch the game, you wouldn't even realize Barton played. It's just that was a masterful defensive performance, man. And that's the stuff that's helping them win. That's what's helping them creep up and get close and close to 500 because they're only 2.5 games out now. So, and the way everybody's being there consistent, especially in the East, man. Like we said, we felt like they could be a playoff team. It's definitely in reach, man. You know what I'm saying? They better not lose on Saturday. Like that shouldn't even be an option. Like we gonna smack them, get them up out of here, get ready for Boston because Boston going through, but they still dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, the schedule that these guys have been playing minus COVID is old school schedule. And you see it across the league. Dudes feeling it, man. Like dudes feeling it. The fatigue, it affects you physically, and it definitely hits you mentally, man. You've seen a whole lot of wild plays and inconsistent play. So whoever mentally tough can, gonna be able to withstand that and stay consistent. And the Wizards showing that they got some toughness, man. They just got to maintain that moving forward.
Right.
Yeah, man. They just got to stick to what's working. No need to go back to the drawing board at this point. I was really anxious to see how they will respond because that Clippers game was the first game like that for them in a good while. So yeah, man, it's good to see them bounce back and and get a tough win against a good team on the road at that. So yeah, man, that's the type of stuff that kind of lets me know that this just isn't just a few good games. They're building something, and the body language is changing. The effort is a complete 180 from what we saw before. So yeah, man. Minnesota, that if they should be able to take care of business, and really against Boston as well. They actually already destroyed them early in the season, and Boston is, like Ardell said, they have a rough time right now. So this is a good spot for them to kind of keep the train going. So just just wait and see how they handle it.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to end it. Like you guys said, we'll see how they deal with this recent success. They've won 6 of their last 7. If they can keep trending upwards, they're right on schedule for that playoff team we all thought they would be. So we'll see how that shakes out this weekend. You guys enjoy tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow night for G League Rundown. And then Saturday and Sunday, obviously, Wizards Outlook following both games. For Cardell, Ray, and myself, you guys have a great night.